The year was 1893. Chicago was a city of dreams, glowing under the electric hum of the World's Fair. It was called the White City, a marvel of modern architecture that drew nearly 27 million visitors from across the globe. But just miles away from the grandeur, a different kind of structure was rising. A dark hell hidden behind a facade of hospitality. Its architect was a man of charm, education, and striking looks, Dr. H. Holmes. To the world, he was a successful businessman. To history, he is America's first and perhaps most calculated serial killer. Today, we step inside the blood-chilling corridors of his infamous murder castle. In the Englewood neighborhood of Chicago, Holmes constructed a massive three-story building. From the street, it looked like a standard hotel, but inside, it was a literal labyrinth designed for one purpose: death. Holmes was paranoid. He fired contractors every few weeks so that no single person would ever know the building's true layout. The castle featured horrors that defied logic, staircases that led nowhere, ending abruptly at the ceiling. Doors that opened into solid brick walls were sheer 20-foot drops to the basement. And, most terrifying of all, soundproof rooms. Thick, asbestos-lined walls ensured that no matter how loud a victim screamed, the outside world heard only silence. Holmes targeted young women, many of whom had traveled alone to find work at the World's Fair. He lured them in with the promise of a job, a place to stay, or even marriage. They entered seeking a future. They stayed as permanent residents of his morgue. Imagine lying in your hotel room at night. Suddenly, a faint, sweet smell begins to drift from the wall ventilator. It's not perfume, it's poisonous gas. From his own bedroom, Holmes controlled a network of pipes that could flood any room in the house with lethal fumes. Once his guests were unconscious, he used a secret service elevator to transport them to the basement. This wasn't a cellar, it was a killing floor. The basement contained acid vats, massive drums of sulfuric acid used to dissolve flesh. The crematorium, a massive furnace used to turn evidence into ash. The rack, a medieval-style stretching rack used for his sick experiments. But perhaps the most chilling detail, Holmes was a trained physician. He would meticulously dissect his victims, clean their bones, and assemble them into full skeletons. Then he sold these medical specimens to schools for thousands of dollars. Holmes didn't just enjoy killing, he made it a profitable business. Every shadow eventually meets the light. Holmes wasn't caught for his murders initially. He was a master con artist who got sloppy with an insurance fraud scheme. But when investigators finally entered his hotel, they found a house of nightmares that shocked the nation. In the basement's ash pits, they found hundreds of human teeth, bone fragments, and the jewelry of women like Julia Connor, who had simply vanished. Though he officially confessed to 27 murders, some estimates suggest his victim count was as high as 200. In 1896, Holmes was sentenced to death. Even at the gallows, he remained eerily calm. Before he died, he famously stated, "I was born with the devil in me. I could not help the fact that I was a murderer no more than a poet can help the inspiration to sing." Today, the murder castle is gone. It burned to the ground under mysterious circumstances shortly after Holmes was caught. A U.S. post office now stands on that very lot in Chicago. But locals say the air there still feels heavy. Some claim to hear muffled screams echoing from the ground in the dead of night. H. Holmes died over a century ago, but his legacy as the devil in the White City continues to haunt our nightmares. Do you believe pure evil can take human form? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this dive into true crime history, hit the like button and subscribe for more terrifying true stories.